Stay tuned after this program for some exciting retail offers on products seen in the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders country western workout video.
Warning. The scenes that you're about to see may be unbearable for some persons.
Previously on VCR Party Live.
We talked about punctuation, and now we're going to be...
Oh, punctuation gets everybody fired up.
It does. We want to do videos that ask VHS questions. And I think this is a good place to start. Where did I come from? Howie Mandel's going to take you through that.
Are you going to heaven?
Oh, another really basic, fundamental question.
This video will reveal the answer. It will actually have the answer.
Can death begin in the colon?
Hey, what about me?
That's good. What am I, chopped liver?
We're throwing a little curveball here. What is real? But maybe it's what is real.
It's a statement, because there's
What
no
is real?
question mark.
No, there's no question mark.
Oh, interesting.
What is real?
Too Jewish? I don't think there's any such thing as too Jewish.
Crying. What can I do? And your answer in parentheses is never shake a baby.
Oh, I see.
They didn't say like crying, baby crying.
No.
They just said crying in
Right,
general.
yeah, then it just jumps to a conclusion that you're going to shake a baby to reduce the crying. We're getting into some questions that don't make any sense. This is, which way weather? It's not proper
terrible.
syntax, yeah.
Hygiene, colon. What is it?
Here's a video hosted by young Tim Allen. What do you say to a naked lady?
He got busted for coke, too,
Yeah.
right? I think
Oh,
this
he
is like
certainly
during his
did.
coke days. This is just a mouthful. Am I not here who am your mother?
Great question.
Is that a Bible verse, or is that like somebody fucked up while they were writing this on the title?
That's just complete nonsense.
VCR Party Live. VCR Party Live. At the end of the 20th century, a scientist saw a killer comet on its way. He filmed instructions for its destruction over a second-hand VHS tape, but then was hit by a Winnebago. So his assistants Nick and Joe must search every corner of his drone for a cassette that is our only home. But in the meantime, they'll play the greatest hits they found. VCR Party Live. VCR Party Live. Melinda's.
Well,
Hello, Linda.
Here it is.
Hello.
VCR party time. Tuesday
Welcome.
night. The boys are watching some VHS tapes. We have 13,000 of them, not to brag or anything. I'm Joe. There's Nick. There's George. There's Steve. We got a great show. We got a very special guest. We have lots of good videos. And I'm excited. Are you excited, Nick?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have Paul Rust, who's one of my favorite funny people. He's in the movie Saturday Night, which is on streaming today. And then a great podcast about cozy horror movies with Gorley and Rust. And
I like Love. I really
and
liked
Love
it
was
for
great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Love. That's where I was first introduced to Paul Rust. Was,
which he
Love.
wrote with his wife, kind of based on his story. And then there's an animated show called The Great North that he does a voice for that our buddy Ted Travelstead wrote for. So that's on Fox and Hulu. And anyway, he's from Iowa. We got a bunch of Iowa videos to show. Joe, did you find any new tapes since last week?
Yeah, I got some good stuff. Put me on big. Put me on. Yeah, there we go. So this is like, okay, so this is just a regular old tape, right? But I think they wanted this to be more because somebody cut this out. Meet our primo, what does that say?
Or Prime Minister.
Or Prime Minister, yeah. So he makes prime rib for a restaurant called, what's it called?
Twinkle Bones House of Roast Beef.
Yes.
Oh.
I want to go to
there.
I want to go to Twinkle Bones so bad. And I want to get a T-shirt.
How about like a group team building thing? We all go to Twinkle Bones and
Or my wake, whatever comes first. Let's have my wake there.
Look, the other thing that's noteworthy about this tape is look at the penmanship is fantastic.
Oh, it's upside down, but it is very legible. Yeah. That's really good.
I thought it was typed. It's not. It was actually written out. That is some fantastic penmanship. I have a couple more. I have this one, an ominous title, Girls Beware, Restricted. Looks like a scary tape, doesn't it? I think it's like one of those like after school specials or something.
Yeah, but like avoiding strangers and things like that. Yeah.
This one Jessie gave us last weekend in Allentown. She gave us a couple tapes. This one, nothing on anything here, but look at on the tape. Religon. Or is it pronounced Religon? Religon.
Right.
George,
You can't have Religon without I. I don't know. Yeah, it's
give me that old time Religon.
Yep.
Right.
So,
I got news. Twinkle Bones is I don't think it still exists, but it's in Aruba apparently. So we're gonna have a team building exercise. Yeah, I found there's a book of matches on eBay for Twinkle Bones with that.
What about T-shirts? Do they have Twinkle Bones T-shirts? I want one.
Haven't found one yet, but it's time to make one and make a million. Yep.
All right.
I got a few tapes. I'm just going to run through them real quick. You're familiar with Ghostbusters? Here we have Stunt Busters by our good friends at Scimitar.
I ain't afraid of no stunts.
On Thursday, we're flying to Alaska for a weekend of shows. Alaska 3D.
Ooh,
Bears
does it
coming
come
right
with
at
glasses?
Let's see. No, the copy we have does not.
Mhm.
Secrets of female sexual ecstasy. There's a female who's like lava coming out of a volcano.
Exploding out of a volcano. That's a good cover.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
No.
And then seal knife. So just kind of a good grab bag. Let's get started. I want to bring Paul out. So let's get into a Found Footage Festival classic first.
You caught me with my pants down, but no one sells carpet or waterbeds for less.
This is a video. Oh, did you want to take the lead on this one, Nick?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, this is a video that we should show more often. This is one of the first ones that we've ever gotten in our collection. We're showing it because Paul is from Iowa. This video was shot in Iowa. It's Jack Rebney, the world's angriest RV salesman. This was it was a Minnesota crew, but they filmed it in northern Iowa. And for those who haven't seen it, been living under a rock, it's this guy, Jack Rebney. He's the spokesperson for Winnebago. And the crew realized that he had a horrible temper, and they recorded everything. They never hit pause. They never hit stop. They captured this man's descent into madness, and it's absolutely beautiful. And this is one of the very first finds of all time. I got this one when I worked at...
Yeah, right. We were working on a crew, and somebody you worked with.
Well, I was working at the video duplication house.
Oh, right.
And that was like the big hub for where all the camera assistants would come. We also rented out equipment. And all the camera assistants would always say, you got to see this tape. It was like legendary. It wasn't on YouTube. It wasn't anywhere at that point. And they finally brought it in. It lived up to the hype. So here he is, Jack Rebney, the world's angriest RV salesman.
Son of a bitch! What do you mean one? I'm gonna fall off the fucking thing. Fuck. Just keep running. Bullshit. I'm gonna slate this fucker. You know, like that. Tony, give me a towel for just a minute, please. That.
Tony's the real hero here.
I'm blinded by that fucking hot light. We got flies all over the fucking place. Son of a bitch. Get out of here, you fucking flies. Minute, there's a fly over the headlight, Tony. Fuck out of here, you flies. Get out of here, you goddamn jackass.
Got it.
I think he did.
I don't know, shit. It's just all gone. I get so goddamn diuretic when I sit here. My mouth just never stops. The Mini Winnie, part of American tradition. And today, on the cutting edge of design and function in a Class C motor home. You believe any of that shit?
Jack Rebney.
Jack Rebney. I love playing that at live shows because before we play it, I always say, has anybody here not seen the Jack Rebney video? And there's always like 4 or 5 people. And I'm always just excited for those people to hear it.
Yeah, we've been touring 20 years. So now there's like new generations of people who never saw that. Because that like it was one of those first, before YouTube, like that was on like Real Player. And, you know, you'd find it on weird iFilm and things like that. And then we cut our own version. It became a big hit at our touring show. And then we got to meet Jack Rebney. And they made the movie about that called Winnebago Man. So for those who are uninitiated, he is a legend not only in Iowa and Minneapolis, but everywhere now. So, okay.
Oh, hey, I want to get into some celebrity bullshit. Steve, roll the what have you. Okay, Joe Blevins sent us this one. Did you guys see his email?
No.
Did you guys? Okay, because I want this
I
to be a
did.
surprise. Steve saw it. We're going to guess after you see the clip because I think this person is pretty much unrecognizable.
Okay.
Joe Blevins wrote, he said in 2012, blank, the celebrity, drove his car into the front of a house in Massachusetts. No one was injured, and the charges against blank were eventually dropped. Bottom line, unfortunate, but not a tragedy.
I did see this.
Oh, you did?
I didn't.
All
right.
Someone was there to capture some amazing footage of the event. Not only do you get to see the crumpled Honda Element in the house it hit, but there's footage of the celebrity himself. I only wish the conversation between the celebrity and the police officer were audible. This video only has 5,000 views. It should be in the millions. Joe Blevins is absolutely correct. I'm going to show it to you. Nick, you're the only one guessing here when you see him. I think you'll get it. I'm pretty sure you'll get it.
You're thinking I might not recognize the
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the camera work, well, whatever. Here it is.
Okay.
Nobody was hurt. Charges were dropped.
Honda Element, all right.
Well, it was.
That was my guess, too, yeah.
Good guess. You'll see the celebrity here. The celebrity's on the right.
Yeah.
Anything, Nick? Look, he sees the camera. Does that help, Nick?
Gene Shalit?
You better believe
it.
Oh,
wow. I was a buzzer beater, but I got it at the last second.
So, okay, here's a quiz question for you. I know the answer to this. No looking it up. Is Gene Shalit alive now or not?
I would say yes.
Steve?
I had it in my head that he was dead.
George?
I think he's alive.
He's 98. He's still living.
Wow.
He's 98 years old.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I hope they took his driver's
hopefully
license.
not
away.
driving. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. That's it for celebrity bullshit.
Okay, good. That should be seen by more people. Let's get into some flying windows. These are Iowa related. I did not know that Iowa had theme parks, but there was one in Des Moines called Adventureland.
Yes,
Joe, did
I've
you know
been there.
about that?
I
Okay,
was
you're
there
an Iowa
and
native, right?
And I dry heaved into the trash can after I rode. I think it was called the Tornado.
Okay.
I went over to I never actually vomited, but I dry heaved afterwards.
That
So,
sounds
yes,
like
I'm
you.
Very
Yeah.
familiar with Adventureland.
Well, they have a commercial, and it had some flying windows, our favorite trope from the VHS era. So take a look at these flying bad boys.
For one low price.
Oh, wait, sorry. I fast-forwarded through the flying windows.
It's our 25th
Feathered and
birthday
bordered.
celebration.
I like
We
it.
invite you to come join the fun. Share the magic of Adventureland during our greatest season ever, where you can enjoy
What if
your
what if we
favorite
saw
rides,
you
shows,
dry
and
heaving in a
attractions,
garbage
all
can?
for one low price. It's
Back
the
on one of
most
these
fun
shots.
you'll
What if there's a
have
ride where you
ever.
get to ride a
Visit
flying
and
window?
see. It's fun
Oh,
you'll
that would be
never
cool.
forget.
You'll have that VCR party land.
At our theme park.
They have to come up with a ride where you can ride a flying window. You get inside the window, so you're the image in the window, and you get to ride in it.
Let's try to have them erect a plaque where you dry heaved. Because, I mean, this show's fairly popular. I think.
Is
You have
Adventureland
some-
still around? I don't even think it's still around.
No, it's not.
I think
No.
it went the way of Twinkle Bones.
He went to Aruba?
Hey, we'll all go the way of Twinklebones eventually. It's just a matter of when. Let's bring out the great, the wonderful, the delightful Paul Rust with Show Us Your Raviolis.
Come on, let's see your raviolis. Show us 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 your raviolis.
Paul Rudd.
Hey, Paul.
Hey.
Hi, y'all.
There he is. Yes, fellow Midwesterner. Yes, it's good to have you on.
Oh, it's good to be here, and thank you guys so much for having me. Much appreciated. Y'all cracked me up big time. I was cracking up.
Oh, good.
Had you been to Adventureland before? And second question, have you dry heaved at Adventureland?
Yes and no.
Oh, okay. So you truly haven't been to Adventureland then. I
You
mean,
lived it.
I haven't experienced the adventure of Adventureland. No, but it's right next to the town What Cheer, the bizarrely named What
I
Cheer.
took a picture of What Cheer when we were following Guided by Voices one summer, and we were driving to Grinnell, and we went through What Cheer, and I took a picture of all of us by the sign of What Cheer.
Yeah.
How the hell did that get the name?
No clue. I don't know how it got the name What Cheer, but it's right next to also the signs that there's some sort of penitentiary there. So there's also signs that like do not pick up hitchhikers. So you see What Cheer and then don't pick up drifters.
Is What Cheer 2 words? Like
yeah, it's like what
really?
and cheer. Yep.
It could fit your guys' on your previous episode, the non-question marked question.
Yeah. What Cheer? Yeah.
Paul, before we're going to show you a bunch of Iowa related clips here, but before we do that, we announced that you were going to be on the show last week, and we got some emails in from people who are big fans of yours. And Brad wrote in, and he said he said this. He goes, "This is a long shot, and it might not actually be in the movie, but Paul mentioned on Gorley and Rust that there was a scene from the Munchies where the Munchies are all running away, and one squeaks out, 'We're the Munchies.' He'd probably lose his shit if you can find that. Have you found that clip yet?"
Oh,
Yeah.
I have. I mean, I remember. Don't get it confused with the sequel, Munchie, which is the reverse of Alien to Aliens.
Very confusing.
Munchies to Munchie.
Right.
Yeah.
But in the original Munchies, yeah, when they're running off, they one of them, and I have to imagine a sort of ADR moment goes, "We're the Munchies."
Well, don't give me any excuse to scrub through the movie Munchies, and I'll do it. And so today I went through it. I have to correct you. They're not running away. They're driving away from an old lady. But
okay?
So here it is, just to refresh everybody's memory.
Thank you.
Yeah, here we go.
Like it? Let's go, man.
You're gonna pay for this, you furry little wimps! Guess we shot her. Hey, we're the Munchies!
Your recollection was correct.
Why would they say that? Why would they announce who they are?
Announcing to themselves who they are. It's like if I said to all of you guys, "We're Americans."
Yeah. These are the creatures we are.
We're humans. You'd be like, "Yes, Paul, that is true."
I like that your brain held on to that for all those years. And it was just like, I'm not going to forget this. I'm going to hold on to this.
Yeah, I think I saw it when I first moved to LA when John Kerry was running for president. And that stuck with my friends and I since then. We love the announcement, "We're the Munchies." But I love any sort of Gremlins ripoff. It's like when you're a kid and you read Mad Magazine, and then you're like, gotta wait another month for Mad. I guess I'll read Cracked.
Oh yeah, those
Sylvester P. Smythe will have to do, I suppose, for 30 days. Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, there was Ghoulies that were.
I watched Ghoulies for the first time ever, and I was
Yeah.
so disappointed that there was barely any Ghoulies in it. They barely even have a Ghoulie in it.
Hardly a ghoulie to be seen, and I don't think they pop out of a toilet either, which is what's promised on the video cover.
Yeah, apparently they had to go back and like shoot that because the poster tested so high. So I think they added it in or something like that.
Just one quick little shot, but when you're a kid and you see that video box, you imagine a whole set piece of various people sitting on toilets and ghoulies popping up and.
Yeah. I mean, by the time Ghoulies go to college, then they knew to lean into the Ghoulie part of the movie. Like, enough with the backstory. Let's focus on the Ghoulies. So they learned their lesson. Hey, so Paul, so where exactly are you from in Iowa?
I'm from the town Lamar's, Iowa. Similarly, bizarrely titled like What Cheer. It's a big L, little E, space, big M, little ARS.
Okay.
And
small town? That's got to be a small town, right?
Yeah, it's I think around 8,000 people. My class size was 43 people. So
wow.
pretty
That's
small.
tiny.
And it got its name because there was 6 founders, and they took the first letter of all their wives' names and arranged it into Lamar's.
What?
No way.
Uh,
Oh, I thought it was like a Frenchman or something was the one who.
That's what I thought. It was like a French astronaut who, like Columbus, landed in the Americas and called it called them Indians because he thought he was in India. But
right.
no.
And what cheer was already taken, so they couldn't call it that.
Yeah. Well, so in looking at the map, the nearest city was Sioux City, right? That was like the nearest bigger town where you'd go to like a mall or something, right?
Oh yeah, the Southern Hills Mall at the Carmike Cinema. That's where I, got to see Magnolia with a baffled audience.
Frogs? What?
The Carmike
Exactly.
in Sioux City was not ready. So I was asking beforehand if there were any like local commercials or anything you remembered growing up, and you said there was a series called "We Built Sioux City." What do you remember about this? Because I found a clip of one of these.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I just, I had that's great, by the way. All I remember, it's a spoof, and any type of spoof, or it's not even a spoof. I guess it would just be a play on "We Built This City" by Starship, and I guess I fondly remember it just because it was like that song is already sort of reviled. The original song as being corny, and I like that somehow somebody found a way to out corn "We Built This City."
They did, and they didn't even. I don't think they even found the karaoke track for "We Built the City," so they just turned down the volume during "We Built the City" and turned themselves up, singing to, I guess, a backing track. So let's watch.
Real quick, when did you watch this? Is this like, would you see this during like Simpsons reruns or something, or was this?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly, and we got our, just so you know, kind of where the city, where the counties landed and stuff. We didn't have a Fox station, so our Fox programming they'd air it between 10 and 11:30 on Sunday nights. So that's how you could tune in and watch a new Simpsons. It's also David Letterman. He would say the top 10 list from the home office in Sioux City, Iowa. That was his backhanded way of saying that the CBS affiliate in Sioux City was the only one that wasn't airing David Letterman at 11:30.
Oh, really? They're preempting it for Fox.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we would watch it on the Sioux Falls station for the first year, David Letterman. And one other detail that really shows how charming, and I mean this truly, what a charming burg Sioux City is. The airport abbreviation is SUX.
They just don't know. It just never occurred to them.
I want to get that mug as a souvenir.
Yes.
Sadly. I'm going to go there just for the mug souvenir.
All right. I trimmed this. We Built Sioux City way down because the original length was 5 minutes and 10 seconds. I thought
we don't need to watch all
let's
that.
cut that into
longer than the original song.
Yeah, exactly. So here we go.
Sioux City. We built Sioux City. Rock and roll.
Sioux City.
Sioux City on rock and roll.
There he went.
You know him?
Yeah.
Sioux City.
Oh my God.
They're twins.
A lot of people play things that aren't guitars with guitars.
Sioux City.
An axe.
Sioux City on rock and
Oh.
Radio DJs.
5 minutes long of this?
5 minutes, 10 seconds. Yeah.
Wow.
Who counts the money underneath the bar? Who rides the wrecking ball into our guitars?
Yes.
Don't tell us you need us. We're the ship of fools looking for America.
Oh my goodness. dude.
Very literal with their interpretation.
Good morning, Sioux City. What a beautiful day out there. There's not a cloud in the sky. The Veterans Memorial Bridge can be seen for miles down the Missouri River.
Let's just watch the whole 5 minutes. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, you're changing your
Hypnotic.
Interstate 29. What a fantastic day for a bike ride in Sioux City. The city that rocks.
Big finish.
We built Sioux City. Built Sioux City.
Chaos.
Now they tag something at the end of this that I think everybody will be impressed with.
Sioux City does rock. I've been in Sioux City many, many times. Every time I'm there, it's an amazing show, amazing town.
that was tacked on to the end was Vince Neil promoting the Celebrity Apprentice, I guess.
That was 10 times better than I thought it was going to be.
My eyes are filled with tears from laughing, and my heartstrings were pulled as well.
Did you recognize? Did you recognize a lot of the people in that?
Oh, for sure. Okay. I recognized the newscasters there. I saw Larry Wentz, and I remember Larry Wentz was probably the first time I ever saw the curtain pulled back when I went to. For some reason, I went to the KCAU lobby and was waiting there with a friend, and Larry Wentz came out from behind a door, and his wife came in through the lobby and handed him his suit from the dry cleaners. I was like, oh, no, I don't want to see this.
So the sausage was made on that.
Yeah.
Were there 2 newscasters in there who were twins? There were 2 guys who looked exactly the same. I think that would be brilliant if you had a news station and you had twins as your anchors. Wouldn't that be
right? If they threw a guy threw to himself in the field,
yeah.
Like,
did I see?
We now
that
go
correctly?
to me down at City Hall.
Did I see that correctly, or did I just want to see that? I don't know.
It probably is just a similar gene pool.
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
I think so.
Yeah. Look
Doughy white guys. Yeah.
But I would love it if 2 twins worked it out. You know, kind of like a sitcom where one is going to be like late. He's not going to be there in the news in time, so he calls his twin in to do the weather instead. Or
let's pitch that.
Yeah,
let's pitch that
or
tomorrow.
it ends up like the Prestige, and he's just I don't want to spoil this.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, I'm going to show you another. I'm going to show you an University of Iowa based clip, and you're going to be blown away by this because you were actually on this show as a guest. So my buddy Dan was a director on a show called Iowa Desk and Couch. And do you know?
I remember Iowa Desk and Couch.
I think it was closed circuit just for the university, maybe,
yes.
Or it was a public access. Okay, it was yes. And I texted him today. I was like, oh, we're gonna have Paul Rust on today. And he's like, oh, he was on the show. So this particular clip, this is the only one he ever saved from that show. They decided to have a psychic on, like a tarot card reader and a palm reader, onto the show. And it's just a wonderful disaster.
Oh my goodness! Please.
This was a great booking, I think.
Yes. So here it is: Iowa Desk and Couch.
I'm here with Trisha from Tarot and Astrology, and she's been so kind as to come in and give us a tarot reading. And so let's get right to it. What exactly is tarot, and how do you use it to predict one's future and all that jazz?
It's a lot of people are real psychic with it. I don't consider myself psychic. I consider myself very intuitive. A lot of people say I'm psychic, but that's a big honor.
Would you like to get to it?
Yeah. And
did you chew gum when you were on your appearance on Iowa Desk and Couch? Were you chewing gum during?
No need to spit it out. That's fine.
Avert the negative pattern.
So I'm like a caged animal that needs to be set free to run wild, kind of.
Listen to this. Listen to this.
Could be.
All right. Well, thank
Could be.
Very intuitive.
I don't know. I'm just a psychic. It could be. Don't ask me.
Covered their bases there.
Yeah. And
It
here
might happen, and if it does, I said could.
It's true, yeah. Neither a desk nor couch during this part of Iowa.
No. Iowa desk and butterfly chair doesn't have the same,
camping
same ring.
False advertising. All right, big finish here.
Thank you much, Tricia, for coming in, and we appreciate everything you've done.
You can call me at 319. I live at Muscatine Avenue, apartment number 1. It's right across the street from Walgreens.
Well, thank you again for coming in. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Blessed be.
Thank you very much.
I'm very honored to have this opportunity.
It's just,
beautiful.
It's just beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. She gives your phone number. She says she's across from Walgreens. She gives out her address, everything. I love her. Yeah.
Did she think we're psychic that like she just gave part of her phone number?
I bleeped that part out.
Oh, that's kind of you.
Yes. I did not include that part.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you know Muscatine Avenue? Like you went to school there, right? That's your alma mater. Okay.
Do you know about that Walgreens?
I do. I always felt a weird energy from across the street.
Aha!
I don't know why.
It's all coming together.
Next time we're in Iowa City, we should call her. I mean, we have her phone number, so we should call her and get reading done from her. Yeah.
She'll pick up before the phone rings and be like, I knew you were going to
call us.
Is that Joe? And you'll say, could be. I got it. Here's a quick one. This is from the University of Iowa, and I think this came out a little later. This is the DVD. It's called Baby Hawkeye, and the idea was sort of like Baby Einstein, but it was to I guess, instill loyalty to the team.
Were you brought up on this DVD, Paul? You must have been.
This isn't a MASH.
That's me on the cover.
No, this isn't about Baby Hawkeye from MASH, George. No, that's a good question. But take a look. It's mind-numbing.
University of Iowa Hawkeyes.
Oh, they're indoctrinating at an early age.
Yeah. Imagine 45 minutes of this.
Is it? 45 minutes?
Baby Hawkeye. The Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yep.
It's probably going to scare a child.
They spared no expense.
Why is he always angry?
Herky.
Herky.
Noose?
No, it's not a noose.
Basketball.
Herky.
Not a switch.
Iowa City, Iowa.
Iowa City.
Stadium.
Yep. There it is.
He has no idea what's going on.
What's he doing with the eye?
He doesn't know what to do with it.
Waltzing.
It seemed like Wonder Shows.
University of Iowa.
This is a Wonder Show.
Go to Team
And look,
Baby
this is from I guess they just did
Entertainment.com.
one for every major, university team. They just did different ones. They just kind of crapped them out. So there's probably one for the Wisconsin Badgers and the Buckeyes. And
I wonder
Dancing
how
with W's and stuff.
yeah.
I want to know what sales were like. I wonder if those actually sold.
Oh,
George,
they
can you
flew
look
off
it
the
up?
shelves.
Yeah, I've got the. I've got
Oh,
the
you
prospectus
have
from that
a
company.
you're a father, right? I mean, is this something you would?
We can send it to you. We can send you
Yeah.
a copy of it.
Yeah.
Oh, if I got that, it'd be on the TV all the time. Daddy, put on Baby Hawkeye again. It's my favorite.
Okay.
I love that those kids, they had no clue what they were a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Not only
seeing
that, of all the
Comet
things you
on
want to
Full
teach.
House. You know?
Yeah, the dog on Full House.
Yeah, like he doesn't know what's happening here.
I don't think the director knew what was happening either. The director was like, I don't know, take the stuffed eye and spin around in a circle. Yeah.
Like, hurry up, kid! Now put on this Clemson outfit. We got to do one for Clemson. You know, it was just probably a long day.
That reminds me, once I had to do these like bumpers for it was like for a promotion on Fox Family, and they set up this like kind of couch with some pillows, and it was me and Hayden Panettiere, and the director says of these bumpers, he goes, so hey, I thought what would be fun is Hayden, you're sitting there, and Paul, you slide in and you throw a pillow at her, okay? And then Hayden, you kind of nudge him with your elbow, like, hey, cut it out, you know, and then you guys look at each other and laugh. And I remember it was my first experience of being like, so this is how crap is made.
Did you do it? Did you end up doing it?
I'm a little whore.
Oh.
Yeah, you were like Comet in that situation. You just had to go along with whatever the trainer asked you to do.
I wish we could show that bumper right now.
Oh
It's
my gosh.
somewhere.
Yes, I was the kid spinning with the large eye from Iowa in that video.
You're all grown up now.
Good stuff. Okay, I want to show you this one. This one also comes from Iowa City, probably in the maybe before your time. I think maybe mid 90s, late 90s or so. Our buddy Brad taped this off at TV, public access TV. The channel was called Choice, and it was the public access. And he taped it every day. And he would tape the show called Sin of the City. The mastermind behind it was this guy named Miles. And Greg was his actual name. Miles is his character name. And he worked at the cafeteria, and he was one of those super ambitious, like Mark Borchardt from American Movie, not a lot of resources, but man, he'd grab the camera every day. He'd take coworkers, he'd take students, there's faculty members in this, and he made this like crime thriller series. And you can tell he watched a lot of these shows. And so, but he taped the whole thing around the University of Iowa. So I put together all the scenery scenes. So maybe you'll recognize some places throughout the campus. And I kicked it off with the promo for Choice Television. Do you remember Choice Television? Does that ring a bell at all?
Yes, I used to watch the public access station in Iowa City. I loved it so much, and I remember them airing these episodes still into the early aughties.
Really, the Sin of the City?
Okay, yes,
you know about Sin of the City.
Wow.
Yes, I would have totally. I mean, if you would have asked me, do you remember any programs on the public access station Iowa City, I would have drawn a blank. But you bringing it up now, it's like coming from my back of my brain here.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes. Okay,
Right.
so we'll start off with the promo for Choice Television. Here we go.
What station do you watch for the best in variety
I tried to make the audio as good as it could. That's the way the tape was.
programming? The best dramas? The funniest comedies?
Oh boy.
I just like this shot here. Just it was after the Comedy Cure. It's two guys just kind of standing there. Yeah.
I also love the confusion of, when a caption is like, you don't know if it's for a picture above or below. So when it says the funniest comedies is like what I just saw or what's coming up.
Yeah, the Comedy Cure was right before this image. So maybe this is the Comedy Cure.
The choice is simple. It's gotta be Choice TV. The programming you want to see when you want to see it. Choice TV, where the choice is up to you.
Okay, here's Sin of the City. And he only uses the music of Duran Duran, too, which we're totally going to get flagged for this, but it's worth it. Yeah.
Fergus, I need to talk to you.
Yes, I remember this guy.
Miles, I'll be with you in a minute. Now, what's on your mind?
Dramatic pause. Oh, we saw that in the promo of that scene, I think.
Yeah. You recognizing any of these establishing shots at all?
I recognize that parking structure because many a student films were filmed on the top there. I was part of one once.
That's a lot of fake guns being drawn there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's a great setting. It's gritty. It's yeah.
I'm sure a lot of Tarantino-inspired dialogue was said. on
yeah.
that.
Definitely.
You know, this gun kind of reminds me of Three's Company.
Remember when they replaced Chrissy? Yeah.
You got the gun?
Of course I've got the gun.
You never can be too careful. I've been on too many of these missions that have gone bad.
I mean, he nails every single line. He nails every line.
I can't
really
take
hard.
my eyes off Fergus. He's like
Yeah,
compelling.
Fergus is the
You just wonder, like, will he get the line out? And there's like a lot of dramatic tension in that. Yeah.
Does this ring a bell? This establishing shot?
No.
That tree doesn't.
Look at This Is Your Life. Yeah.
I wish it did. I wish I could.
Well, we have the tree right here.
The building was probably bulldozed long ago.
Let's put it all in one place.
Everybody move in.
Okay.
Everybody move
Listen to the car door here. And I can laugh at this because every car I've ever owned is this car. So, but listen to the car door squeak when it opens.
Everybody move in.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Do you recognize that corridor? I bet you spend a lot of time in that corridor there.
I recognize that library, and I love the ultimate affront of don't talk loudly in a library is firing a gun.
It's like a cannon sound effect. Too.
Yeah, that was very loud. Yeah.
And somehow their shirts never become untucked in this fight sequence. I don't know how
That's
they
one
do it.
fact, I think. Yeah.
He's pleased.
Fergus,
Pleased.
two
Thumbs
camera.
up. Thumbs up. Yeah.
Yes.
I helped the edit move along a little bit there. You should probably watch the full version. That was the short attention span version.
No,
17 episodes of that Brad recorded for us. So, yeah.
Fantastic. I used to watch it. I remember, like true television programming, I would be bummed when I would come in late on an episode. I'd be like, oh my God, they were airing a Sin of the City and I missed it. And that guy, the main guy, I remember seeing him around town. It was like basically the local celebrity. It was
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg. We've been trying to track him down. He doesn't respond to emails or anything. We want to.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Do like a Bluray with him doing commentary.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to get him in on this. I want to distribute all the Sin of the Cities because they're so good. They're so fun to watch.
Paul, did you ever do improv in Iowa?
No, I did sketch.
Okay.
There was this thing called No Shame Theater, and that would meet up on Friday nights. And then I had some buddies who did improv, and they were called the Grandma Police.
Oh, great improv name.
That is such an improv name.
Because I found an improv troupe, or I guess a sketch troupe, and they were doing a lot of like the fast games. And I did comedy sports. There was a lot of those like games, and I was in a high school troupe, and I cringe to think about those performances being on tape. But here we have a troupe called Lucky Duck that on public access would air their improv games. and it's a learning thing. They're trying their best. Improv is hard. I'm just going to say that. So here's a little bit of the Lucky Ducks.
The two people. Wait, let's look at those two people. There they are, victims all. Okay, serial killers. Oh, Wheaties, look out. The ending situation for two people is a comedy routine with a ventriloquist and a dummy. Guess that's you, Tim. Okay, go for it. Beginning, middle, and end. There'll be serial killers. They'll make some changes, and they'll end up as a ventriloquist and a dummy.
Very glad you're here tonight. We find that the weather, even though it's rainy, allows us to continue.
Well, that's pretty clearly pretty good. Now I'm going to get out there and we're going to do something special. Hang on 1 minute.
They're having fun, I think. I don't know.
Feeling all right?
Yes, I feel fine.
Oh,
you look a bit peaked yourself, cuz. It's been a long time since I've seen you last.
I know, God, it's so hot in here.
Yes, well, if you wouldn't wear those cheap nylon shirts, you know, you wouldn't sweat so much. Yes, you should just take this right off.
You would not believe the power that this machine has.
I mean, that's the most improv thing ever. Right?
Yes. We're all going to be parts of a machine.
And I hope you enjoyed the show. Let's do this again next lifetime. 2 weeks, we'll be back. I see improv next week. Don't miss it or you'll be killed.
Hey! Oh,
Beautiful.
Lucky Ducks.
Wow.
Wow. I had mentioned before the show started that I took a vacation to Wisconsin with my buddy.
Yeah.
The first live improv I ever saw was Comedy Sports in Wisconsin.
Really?
You might have seen Nick. You might have seen Nick.
Might have been in Madison somewhere. I did it briefly there, but yeah, I mean, it's a good place to start. And,
I loved it.
Yeah.
I remember it getting bit by the bug there and like loving it. There was a thing I remember where if audience members said like a dirty suggestion, you would get a brown paper bag put on your head.
Yeah, the brown bag foul, because it was a sport, so the referee would put a brown bag on your head. You would have to wear it for the duration of the game, and yeah, I loved it too. In high school, I'd go watch it. I was like, "This is what I want to do," and started doing it. So I
remember
I
an audience member. I think his suggestion was just like sex. It was the word sex or something. And they put a brown paper bag on his head. And I say this not to laugh at the person, but to laugh at the scenario that was created in this. But the audience member was in a wheelchair and couldn't move his arms and legs. And so like 20 minutes after they put the brown paper bag on his head.
Oh no!
Somebody on the stage started laughing. I was like, "Will somebody please take a paper bag off that guy's?"
Oh no! Oh, they got stuck in that situation.
I'm glad somebody said something.
Yeah, me too.
There was one time where we were doing a sketch there. It was like above a Wendy's on State Street in Madison where we would do it. And you got a lot of weirdos because State Street was kind of like, the university area, a lot of drunk people. And there was a guy dressed in an all-white snowmobile suit with the ski mask on and came up during one of the games, the sketches. And we all thought it was like, part of the sketch or, somebody was in on it. But no, it was just a disturbed man who got up there and just did the entire sketch with us and then left and we never saw him again. Fully white snowmobile suit.
So many disturbed people there. He could just waltz right in, no problem, undetected.
Exactly. Yeah. He just was part of our machine that made noise and then, everybody loved it.
An alien landed for the first time,
right?
To make contact, walked onto stage at an improv troupe. It's like, we can't work.
Blended right in.
Yeah.
Do we got one more? Do we have time to show you one more video, Paul?
Oh, please.
Okay.
I'm loving this.
Okay. What do you have, Joe? Do you have another one?
I have nothing else. That's all.
Oh, okay.
How about I have Okie Girl.
Captain 11. You told us about Captain 11. What do you remember about Captain 11? Because I dug up some footage of this.
Oh my goodness. Wonderful. Captain 11, yeah, was from the local Sioux Falls station, I believe, and it was the newscaster who, did you guys ever have the experience where you're like, I know you're watching The Simpsons and you see Krusty the Clown, and you're like, I know that this existed at some point in entertainment, but I never really got to appreciate it. Captain 11 was like still the vestige of like the local newscaster who dresses up in a ridiculous like jumpsuit.
Yes,
and
every
will
region
do
has one. Every
yes,
region has their Captain 11. Yeah.
yeah. And then I remember some bizarre game where you guessed a number, and he took a key based on that number, and then tried to open up the treasure chest.
Yes.
And it was always just such a dispiriting way to end children's entertainment, where it would be like taking a key off, putting it into a treasure chest, and be like, nope, it doesn't open. The end.
So the episode I watched had that part where it's like, oh, nope, sorry, didn't open the treasure
It
chest.
should
Oh,
always
please, you could've
open.
won.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's TV. You should
should've
always,
always-
the balloons should come out and confetti. Nope, sorry.
Well, the other thing I noticed when watching it was there's this elaborate backstory about like Captain 11 came from space and they just bestowed him with powers, and it's a guy in a blue suit who asks people where they're from. That's basically what it's like. He's not really using his powers. He's just kind of like, where are you from? What's your name? So I don't know. This the episode I found was from 1986. So let's take a little bit of
Wonderful.
Captain 11's backstory.
One man in each century is given the power to control time. The man chosen to receive this power is carefully selected. He must be kind. He must be fair. He must be brave. You have fulfilled these requirements, and we of the outer galaxies designate to you the wisdom of Solomon and the strength of Atlas. You are Captain 11.
Who's this guy gonna be?
Hi, crew. Captain 11 reporting. What a gorgeous day. So how's my crew today? All right, everyone wave now. Grandmas and grandpas, uncles, aunts, and cousins. Let's check out-of-towners here. Where are you from?
Milbank, South Dakota.
Milbank. Nice town. Played golf there this week. Where are you from?
Alex.
So the guy who's bestowed with the strength of Atlas and the wisdom of Solomon played golf there over in
Played golf there.
Yeah. And by the way, Joe, I think this is why you thought the news anchors were twins, because I think we're looking at a sea of blonde-haired white people here.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
Okay.
Dakota.
Milbank. Nice town. Played golf there this week. Where are you from?
Alex.
Alexandria and
Brookings.
Brookings. Where are you from?
Alexandria.
Shake hands with him. He's from Alexandria. Where are you from, darling?
What's the awkward handshake?
Anyone here from Salem? All right, Dave. We'll see you tomorrow. Come see me now. Get your
Yes.
funny face on television.
Oh my God, I remember this.
The Jumbo Tootsie Roll given away on today's Captain 11 show was furnished by Tootsie Roll Industries Incorporated.
Oh, that would make sense. That would make sense that they would furnish that. Yeah.
He is like Krusty, though. I feel like he's just going back and lighting up a cigarette immediately afterwards. Where are my golf clubs?
Talk to the audience. This is always death. Yeah. Is that how you remembered it, Paul?
Yes. I remember that little game at the end where it would be like, now move both hands. Now move your hands and your feet.
Yeah.
And the kids would laugh because it's like, that's impossible, Captain 11. We can't do that.
You get him every time. Yeah.
But also, I loved his little built-in girdle that he had there.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
The double-breasted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then, yes, the only thing he was sent from across the galaxy to ask where you were from.
Yes. Yep. The aliens bestowed him with that power to be like, oh, you're from Milbank. Okay.
Yeah. The one thing I could bring from my home planet were some golf clubs. So I make use of all the greens.
The backstory makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But he was also the newscaster for that Sioux Falls station. And I think it was Channel 11. So I'd like to think whoever made that opening title thing too, that like the baby Hawkeye and how they would just probably replace it with each university. It was like Captain 11,
right.
Captain 14.
Yeah, they just franchised it to different networks.
So he had to work mornings and evenings.
Yes,
the
and
morning
weekends, I
and
think.
weekends.
Oh my God,
Where
that
does he
guy
find
hated
time
his
for
life.
golf.
Yeah.
That's why he's so focused on golf all the time.
Yeah, I would be too.
My dad is a really just a hilarious guy, like legit funny, and he would crack me and my sisters up / drive us crazy. We would watch the Channel 11 news, probably to watch some Fox programming, and he had this, I guess you would call it a bit, where it's so bizarre. Anytime the weatherman would show up, he would say he babysat him as a kid. That's such a weird joke.
What's the payoff?
Wait, your dad would tell you that you babysat him?
This guy would come on and he's like, "Oh yeah, I used to babysit him as a kid." And we're like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, little." And he would just, whatever the guy's name, if it was Dan, he'd call him Dan. I mean, it was other weathermen. It wasn't just stayed with one. It was always a different.
This is a good bit. I want to steal this bit. Oh, that's good.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
I'm gonna use that on my niece and nephews next
and
weekend.
it's one of those bizarre jokes where it's like, or lies or fibs, where it's like it doesn't get you respect.
No, just kind of a weird
It's
thing
not
to say.
cool. Oh, you were a babysitter? Oh, cool. You had authority?
The person near my hometown was Tom Wopat, who was one of the Duke boys from,
Sure.
Dukes of Hazzard, and every person I grew up with was like, my mom babysat him. Everyone babysat Tom Wopat. Like, sure they did.
My friend John, his mom Judy babysat. No. Was babysat by that guy's mom. The babysitting always fits in somehow to the celebrity connection of the guy who wrote Convoy, the song Convoy.
Oh, really?
What's that guy's name?
C.W. McCall? Is that it?
C.W. McCall, yes.
I don't know how my brain stored that piece of information, but it's a song that's a real cool trucker song, and it goes, "We're on a trucking convoy." And it gets kind of like fun.
And the guy was like a marketing guy. He wasn't actually a country music singer. He worked in marketing, and he knew that would be big.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't believe you're just telling us this now about the C.W. McCall connection. That you should have led with that. That's good stuff.
Okay,
Oh,
I want to mention, thank you for coming on. We have so much more. If you ever come back, we got more to show you. But
please have me back.
Saturday night, you were great as Paul Schaefer. That's out
thanks.
on VOD today. You can watch that at home. And also, I just have to say, Pee-wee's Big Holiday, which I know you co-produced and wrote with Paul Rubens, was so great that it's a tough thing to pull off. So hats off for. I just watched that movie like 2 days ago again.
You were probably a big Pee-wee fan growing up, right?
Yeah, were all of you guys?
Yeah,
of course. That's
sure.
how Nick and I met. We met in 6th grade, and it was because I learned that he was a member of the Pee Wee Herman fan club, and I was like, "Oh, how do I
still
become
have
a
the
member of
membership
that?"
card?" Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was the kid at my school who was known for doing the Pee-wee voice, and
oh yeah, and doing the tequila dance and everything,
yep.
and
you had to do the tequila dance too. And I remember when I first started working with Paul Rubens, there was something inside me that knew, don't do the Pee-wee voice around him, right? Like that's let him do that. And then like 4 or 5 years after we met, I think after we were done working, he referenced somebody who was like, "Oh, I used to work with this person." Ugh, and they would do the Pee-wee voice. I'm like, oh, thank God I never did it.
You knew better.
Oh, what if you had? Oh,
yes,
boy,
I wouldn't have lived to tell the tale.
No.
And with Gorley and Russ, I love the podcast, and then the Great North just got renewed for a 5th season. So
God, you're a busy dude.
So much going on.
Oh yeah, check out the Great North. That's a fun show, and thank you for those kind words about the Pee-wee movie too. I appreciate it.
Yeah, in rewatching it, I think I don't know if you relate a story or something, but it stuck with me was that the thing about Pee-wee is like there's movies about like weirdos who are in a town, and there's some guy looking at their neighbor like, can get a load of this guy, but he had a different philosophy about how people would react to Pee-wee, right? Is it?
Yes, yeah, no, I grew up loving Pee-wee, And then when I got to college, as you age and your things fall away and you don't like it as much as you could, but you're like, oh, Pee-wee still stands the test of time. And I remember a friend of mine, she and I were watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and we laughed so hard at this moment. It's at the very beginning when he comes out and he says to his neighbor, hey, I'm going to water the lawn now. And the guy goes, okay, Pee-wee. And he closes his window and Pee-wee starts the sprinkler. The water sprays on that guy's house and all over his window and stuff.
Yeah.
But inside, you can see him inside laughing and loving it.
The neighbors love it. Like,
yes,
it's weird. They love it.
We would crack up about that. Like, he likes it. He likes that Pee-wee's doing this. And it's the one. Paul was a brilliant person and made so many choices that were original, but also funny. And that was for me, like one of the big distinguishing qualities that made him such an original character was like, if it had been Ernest P. Worrell or Buster Keaton or Ace Ventura, they would have turned on the sprinkler and the neighbor would have shook his fist and been like, dang you, I hate you.
Right.
And no, and I do think it's part of Paul's philosophy that it was like, misfits are always welcome, and he put it as once we were talking about it, and he said early on he made the choice that nobody in the Pee-wee world would come up and remark on his suit and be like, hey, you going trick-or-treating later? That's how he'd put it. You going trick-or-treating later?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that sort of obeyed whatever that rule was, that nobody in the town thinks Pee-wee's strange, which is
that's great.
Sort of a utopia.
And it's funny you pointed that out. I didn't think about that, but that is the difference, and like why that holds up so well. It's like, yeah. So,
and if only the world could be that way.
I know.
I feel like it was Paul's vision of how he thinks, how he'd like things to be.
Yeah,
I bet Paul watched a lot of Captain 11, not Captain 11, but the Captain 11 morning.
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
sure he appreciated that.
The highest compliment we could give something was that it was like good corn, and he would always talk about the corny stuff he loved, and like one of them was the Little Rascals eat too much pie, and then you do like a whip kind of a in-screen, like a whip to 10 minutes later, and they're all holding their stomachs going, oh, why did I eat so much pie? That was the pinnacle of comedy for him. Somebody who ate too much pie.
Oh, it makes me laugh every time.
Oh, and I just thought in example with the town loving it, when in Pee-wee's Big Holiday, when he does the balloon bit that goes on for too long and he's making the balloon noises in the Amish community, and they all applaud, all the Amish people applaud at this feat. I mean, it's the perfect example of
and that was from his stage show. And the first time I saw that on stage, the balloon thing, I like lost my mind. My other little favorite, one of my favorite Pee-wee moments is from the Playhouse show. There's a scene where he feeds a dog and they just have a close-up of a dog's mouth for 2 minutes. An unbroken shot of a dog just eating all the food out of the bowl.
With the sound effects turned way up.
Yes. And I was watching it with my daughter, and I talked to Paul on the phone like the next day, and I was like, oh my gosh, Paul, my daughter and I were watching Playhouse, and there was this scene that blew my mind with the dog. He was like, the dog eating out of the bowl. I know. And what I love about it, it's like, it's almost on the level of like Andy Warhol, like an unbroken shot of it's like an experimental film.
On a Saturday morning show.
Yes.
Like that's the most mainstream of anything. And
on CBS.
Yes.
And it's beamed into people's living rooms at like 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, opposite like Foo-Fur or something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Did he say that he wrote that in? Or did they just do it on the fly? Or what?
They came up with the idea, and what it came from, and I think it's sort of like what makes another thing that makes Pee-wee so special is like it's three things all at once. It's like weird and experimental, it's super funny in a original way of just like, oh, you start laughing at how long it's going and then laughing at yourself laughing. But it also perfectly matches a kid's brain. Like, I remember when I was a kid, I would just get down and watch a dog eat food out of a bowl for the entire time and just be sort of hypnotized by it.
That's true.
But yeah, he told me that they came up with that. And what was amazing was not specifically with this gag, but with the show, they would finish editing it on like late Friday nights, early Saturday mornings, and just bring the tape in, and CBS would air it. So this was like true. The revolution is televised. I mean, this guy had access to this like one of 3 major stations and had no notes, no anything, no
oversight, no network notes. That was like sneaking one in, basically.
Oh, that was
amazing.
That was unheard of.
Wow.
Yeah, especially during that time, which was, maybe a little bit. It wasn't the 60s or 70s. It was, the mid 80s, which could be a repressive time for others.
Yeah.
But he was doing it. It's pretty cool.
When you tire of showing your daughter Pee-wee's Playhouse, Baby Hawkeye,
yeah,
I'll
she's gonna
send
love
this
it.
your way. I'll FedEx
Great
priority
bonus
overnight.
features in
and
there.
you're
Yeah,
not gonna
It
wanna
has
go
the same
anymore.
rhythm. Pee Wee Herman, Baby Hawkeye.
Yeah, it does.
She'll be
Director's
a
commentaries are on there and all that. So yeah,
It was a baby.
Yeah.
It was Hawkeye, right?
Yeah, that's the baby he was talking about.
Right.
Thanks, Paul Russ, for coming on, and hopefully we'll see you another time.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you having me. I'm very happy I got to do this. And yes, please have me again. I'd love it.
All right, that's
Thanks,
shows to
Paul.
Rabbi always.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Shows to ravioli's. Shows to ravioli's. Shows to ravioli's.
oh, that's fun.
I was not expecting all the great Pee-wee stories.
I wasn't either. That was fantastic.
That was good, and yeah, plenty more. So yeah, hopefully Paul will come back, and we'll do it again. But George, you have more Iowa videos for us, right?
I sure do.
Let's get into
What
it.
is it? It's 250 pounds of lovable trouble named George. George, will you get out of my bed and go downstairs? It's George by George. You'll want to bring the whole family to see George.
Yeah, Paul suggested some commercials that were well remembered from Iowa, and while going through a giant supercut of commercials, I found something totally different, which is I guess it was a very, very, very local chain called Sub City. That they were based on New Jersey subs. Now, being in Philadelphia, I don't know anybody who talks about New Jersey subs. It's Philly subs, but these are like the best of 80s local commercial aesthetics. And then there's 3 of those, and then one more recent one, but they all have something to offer.
All right.
I'm the only 13-year-old cousin Jerry Lee Lewis didn't marry. I remember before he was a star, he was jumping up and down on the piano, and I said, Cousin Jerry Lee, there's a whole lot of shaking going on. The Sub City submarine sandwich leaves me breathless. Goodness gracious, that's a fact.
Okay, Bob, tell everybody about Sub City in Cedar Rapids.
Wait.
Hi, I'm Bob Dixon.
This is a commercial
Yeah.
that would air during TV time.
Yes. I don't know.
TV time.
This is definitely a TV time commercial.
Okay. All right.
But there's some, this is this looks like sub public access, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Bob, tell everybody about Sub City in Cedar Rapids.
Hi, I'm Bob Dixon. Looking forward to seeing you at
Hold
Sub City.
it, Bob. Don't turn invisible when you're talking about Cedar Rapids. Now try it again.
Hi, I'm Bob Dixon, and we're all looking forward to seeing you.
No.
Cedar Rapids.
They're just spinning around the camera.
What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Well, there's nothing to eat. Hey.
Hey, pal.
What are you complaining about?
Hey, Larry the Lobster.
And what about the great food at Sub City? Hey, Sub City, where every whole sub is more than 1 foot long.
I can't wait to go to Sub City and see food.
Hey, pal, don't ever say seafood to a lobster. What a crowd, what a crowd. Hey, give me a break, give me a lobster break. Hey, what a crowd.
It's the lunchtime adventures
Hey,
of
we're
Bushman
on TV
Bob.
time?
There I was, mate, in the heart of Sub City, home to over 30 different species of massive and meaty sub sandwiches. I was amazed by the friendly service offered by the Sub City natives. Bongo, bongo! Enjoying my meal, I had the uneasy feeling that I was being watched. Suddenly, I was attacked by a giant Sub City party sub. Blimey, that vicious brute gave me quite a tussle. But naturally, I escaped unscathed. Sub City, they make 'em big down there.
I really thought the giant sub attacking him was going to get a bigger reaction from you guys. I really thought that was like.
Well, we just saw two lobsters having a conversation.
That was a lobster and a crab. Keep it.
A lobster and a crab. Sorry.
It'll hit me later tonight. Like there was a lot to take
drive
in
home.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, it's skirt. There's a certain thing where low budget skirts, like David Lynch. It's hard to tell that line between what is intentional and what is not intentional, and what should terrify you and what is intended to be funny. That's what VCR Party, and especially the George segment, is all about.
Fantastic. Let's close it up.
What are we?
With love from George.
Got a double. What are we on that one?
I
Steve?
don't think Steve was ready for the efficiency of that transition.
I wasn't. I was over in the comments. I was putting up comments, and then I came back.
We have to do a quick nice things. I know we're running a little late, but for good reason. We got to reveal the winners of the Halloween costume contest and a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's get to it. Can I start off here, Joe?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. This is first of all, I got to say that over the weekend, Joe, you were in Chicago now, but the rest of the VCR Party crew did a little team building excursion. You know Bill Mancuso, who
is he in the back? Is he the one in the
that's
back?
not Bill. No, Bill is there. Oh, wearing this T-shirt that I am now. Bill has done. If you watch Saturday morning cartoons, he did the action figure. I don't know what to call it. It's a statue of all of the gang from the comic of all of us playing in a band like the Archies.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And he's made us so many cool things. He said he's working on a secret project that involves all of us as well, which he wouldn't tell us what it was. But he invited us to this convention because he's a professional action figure designer. He worked for McFarlane Toys, and then they started their own company 20 years ago called Four Horsemen. And so he sculpts toys that's the giant version of one of their toys called Mythic Legions. And we went to this convention, and I was thinking a couple hundred people in a conference room, thousands of people. People were came from Sweden. It was like huge. People had businesses just making clothes for their action figures. Wow. It was incredible. They're all customizable. So thank you, Bill. That was fun. Okay, so now it's time to reveal the winners of the Halloween costume contest. We got first of all, we had more entries than we've ever had before. I had to put them in a pie chart. Every costume was fantastic.
Zoom in.
We'll send something to everybody.
Close in.
Yeah. So look at these are all the charts.
And it looks like length and girth is the biggest slice of the pie there.
Yeah, so I'll just show the winners. And again, these were, we had a costume contest where people would dress up as folks from videos or references to the show. This is Daniel Songer, the internet comedian, and tied for third place. The bronze medal is Bob Hedges.
It's pretty good. He had the
Daniel
stage
Songer.
and everything. Yeah.
Also tied this is from a video we have called Chinese Lovemaking Secrets. Jeff, who censored himself.
Thank you. Yep.
He tied a kettle and wrote 100 pounds on it. So they tied for third.
Oh, and we heard that he actually tied his wiener to that.
Yes,
too.
we got some intel. Yeah.
So yeah. So he actually
deserving of a prize. So you guys, I'll follow up with you. Well, McKenna will about your addresses. Now this, I mean, tough for these guys not to win, but this is a doe-in self-massage, which was taped in Colorado with a couple of weirdos. This is a lady. And this is Hope, is that lady. Peggy was her name. And if you
So
notice, this is Lino. This is the man who taught and talked about giving the middle finger to exercise your fingers. And this is Andrew. So they, as a couple, went to the actual mountain where they shot Doian self-massage.
That's next level.
It is.
That's
So
next level.
silver medal. They're going to get some great prizes from the Found Footage Festival merch bin. And the winners, though, by quite a bit. We have a video called Male Enhancement. And I don't know why, but Sarah Lynn and Dave thought that this chart that said length and girth was a lot of fun. So they actually went as the chart that says length and girth. And you see how there's that white part of it, on the chart that kind of
the gradient. Yeah,
the gradient. Yeah, they actually did the gradient on their cardboard costumes.
Yeah, you're gonna take first place with a gradient like that.
Oh, look how Sarah Lynn as length is kind of looking over at Girth, a little jealous. Girth is pretty happy.
Oh, I never noticed
Sarah
that.
Lynn's a little get him the side eye.
You could study this photo for years and still pick up new stuff.
Yeah. So a deserving first place. They're going to get the T-shirt by Ghoulish Gary and so many great things. Volume 9 and 10 on DVD. And so congratulations to Sarah Lynn and Dave as length and girth. Well done.
Good stuff. I'll just go real quick. I got in the mail from our lawyer, Anderson. How many lawyers send their clients this stuff, these nice things? Magic the Gathering cards for found footage. Have you heard of this?
People told me about this. Yeah,
People told me about it too, but I haven't actually gotten one yet. And Anderson sent me 2 of them. I guess they're worthless. I think they're absolutely worthless cards.
That makes sense.
But we should collect all of these. We should have all the found footage cards.
Maybe they'll be worth something then, because they'll be rare. We will have them all.
We'll control the market.
Yeah. Like with Nacho Chihuahua and Robert. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I've been talking to him. He has some Nacho Chihuahua updates. We're gonna have to have him back on the show. So
great.
He's working on a new video game.
Paul Rust, the guy who collects Nacho Chihuahua on VHS.
Exactly.
It's a star-studded. I mean, that's what this show is. Yeah.
A video game about Corny. You remember Corny, the children's video?
Yeah, the weird alien creature that teaches you about manners. Yeah.
Robert back on the show soon.
Okay.
I have other nice things. Do we have time? I mean, I got more.
I think we got to save them for
I think we should
the week after. But plenty of nice things coming up. So thanks everybody.
Can I show this just real quick? This is Jay Nathan sent this. He scored a bunch of amateur ebooks, the PDFs. He got a bunch of PDFs, and he sent me the self-defense one. I'll just show you this. It's Time Out for Bullies: How to Stop Any Bully Anytime, Anywhere. Self-defense for children by children who aren't black belts. This PDF is incredible. I think it actually was written by a child because, look at here's one: escapes and defenses. Defenses with a brush. The comb is a dangerous weapon if used right. Smash the comb into the groin.
It's like the older brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smash the comb into the solar plexus. Smash the comb into his ear. Smash the edges against the eyes. Smash the end into his teeth. And then there's one for keys, too.
These are black metal lyrics, by the way. Just sing them in like a Cookie Monster growl. And,
yeah.
Defenses
with a key. Hold the key firmly. Strike into the ribs. You can cut the face open.
Oh, wow.
You can cut the face open. Pull under the teeth to loosen or break teeth. Pull the nose apart. Cut the eye.
This is if you're attacked by somebody who stands still.
Yep.
Yeah.
The most dangerous opponent.
Pull the point through his cheek. Pull the point through his ear. Pull the point through his cheek again, I guess. And then I just like this photo a lot. It's So thank you, Jay.
Potential Halloween costume for 2025.
It's a couple's costume.
Write them all down. Dave and Sarah Lynn are taking notes right now.
Oh, good stuff. Thank you, Jay Nathan, for that PDF. Never thought I'd be excited to see a PDF show up. But,
our buddy Mike Sachs, the writer, also collects those weird books and has some of those
I'll
PDF
forward it on
books.
to him. Yeah, he'll
that's
appreciate
maybe
that.
a new frontier for us.
Yeah.
All right, that's nice things. All right, I got kind of obsessed with that Lucky Ducks improv troupe, and there's a lot more where that came from. So I invited my buddy Charlie, who is a writer on Key and Peele, and who I used to do improv with in the Twin Cities. He's going to come on.
Did you do Comedy Sports with him?
We did Comedy Sports together in Minneapolis, and then he went on to be like a UCB, big UCB guy, and wrote for Key and Peele and all that stuff. And he and his improv friend are going to come. Joe, you're flying to Alaska a day early, so
I'll be in the air I wish I could see this though.
So yeah, the three of us are going to watch it and give improv critiques on the Lucky Ducks improv troupe. So tune in for that. You can watch that if you're a $10 and up patron at that address below.
We are in Juneau, Alaska this weekend. I don't know. Do we have any Juneau, Alaska viewers? If we do, you can't buy tickets in advance for this show. I feel like we're playing like a Northern Exposure. The show Northern Exposure. I feel like we're playing the theater in that show. Like a moose might be in the audience. Who knows? But so. We're doing 2 nights there in Juneau. We're doing one in Fairbanks at the university, and then we're on to Boulder and Denver next week. So come out and say hi.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I haven't been to Alaska, but I was told by the college booker in Fairbanks that it's -4 there right now, and there's a ton of snow on the ground.
I know. I got to pack warm clothes.
Oh. And let's do Alaska State jingles next week.
Yes.
We'll see what's
for sure.
See what's on deck there.
All right, we're gonna end on Iowa. Okoboji Girl. We when we found this one, I think it was like on the internet, but we just took to it because Okoboji, that's the big. I wanted to play this for Paul. We didn't have enough time, but this is the big vacation spot in Iowa.
I didn't know. Yeah, okay. So that's not a big town, but it's where people would go to a lake or something.
That's where everybody in Iowa went. Yeah, it was a big lake town. So a guy wrote an amateur song and made a video for it, and I love it so much. So if we had been prepared, we could have done better.
Thanks to Paul Rust, and we'll see you down the road to Clowndom, everybody.
Continued success.
This is the last time.
Is it silent here?
Yeah. It's a dramatic.
Got it.
Yeah.
I went outside and watered your flowers yesterday. I tossed and turned and couldn't sleep in the bed we made. I took the car for a spin, couldn't get away. I see you in the dark of night. It's my Okoboji girl. Need my Okoboji girl. 'Cause everything looks like you to me. Everything I wanted.
When we return, Dr. Selner will complete the bunion surgery.
Yes, those are his pajamas he's wearing.
All right, I gotta go.
That's all. That's it.
Let me see that one.
Rocks are done. Gotta sleep. Bye.
That's it. That it done.
We did our best. If we'd been prepared, we could have done better.
What do you think about Bibra?
About what?
In A.
Mine not there for yuck anymore.
Ooh.
That's all I'm doing.
Cheerio. Continued success. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Sizzler.
Tinkerbell!
Hasta la vista, baby. And I got that from Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor from California.
We'll be right back right after that. Good luck from all of us at Hagen.
And Kurt Polstead, the real great guy.
Night, night.
Goodbye.
Jim's coins in Hilldale.